something I want to talk about, because a lot of times we hear things, but we really don't really listen and process the things that we hear. Well, we know that a lot of the things that we follow in life been handed down. If it's not handed down, we learn from education, radio, television, peers, society, people that we be around. And a lot of times, being that we grow up in life like a horse that has a bridle, well, a horse can only see one way, and we roll by a rider, and that rider being civilized to their norm, their standards, their belief systems, that we tend to walk that beat. Being really free is to be a free thinker, to really think for yourself, to really move according to your insight, your intellect, that which enter and let. Being that a lot of us who grew up into a Christian or Catholic, whatever upbringing your belief system is. For me, it was Christianity at one point. And I remember always being told that that Jesus was likened to the husband, and the women of the church would be the brides of Christ. How many of y'all have heard that before? And it's acceptable for the church to identify with a body that's identified under a marriage, that God or Christ, Jesus, whatever name that you prefer, is the husband, and the women are considered to be the wives of Christ or Jesus. Now, even in the Catholic, we understand that there are popes and priests, I should say, who live by a strict regimen and not being sexually active. Nuns do not have intercourse, right? The women are following a celibate lifestyle because they give their body solely to the Creator. So that means they identify themselves to be the wives of God or Christ or the Creator. Now, using the belief system that says that you're supposed to be Christ-like, to be Christ-like is to identify with following in those footsteps, or to be ye godly because I am, is a strong statement in understanding that, as you can see, that this whole poly is still doctrinated within the belief system. And I had to bring this to point because if you remember that Noah, 2 daughters got him intoxicated and they slept with him. Did it state that Noah's daughters were punished? They were instantly destroyed? So we understand that the duality of two has also been doctrinated, has also been encoded within civilization. If you understand, as a tribal people, the men, we would hunt, we would protect, we would build. We enjoy doing these things for the tribe. We enjoy doing these things for women, for our women. And the women, these strong women, came together and kept the structure of the tribe. Be it the Native women as well, Native American women, as well as the Akabulan, Kemetic, Kushites, women. They cared for the children. They kept the garments clean. They interacted socially, mentally, economically. All that is important. In being in a relationship, psychologically is important, as well as bonding with someone who's psychologically sound, who's mentally sound. But again, we say the word king, we say the word queen. lot of conscious women, we say that a lot. When we say that one is a king, you are a queen. Now, when it comes to a woman want to have her rights as a queen, will the men allow it? I think it's time that we open up this whole new umbrella and understanding that it's time to go back into those ancient ways. The reason why we having the troubles that we having now in civilization, in society, because we strayed from the path of the Most High. A pharaoh job is to have a connection, a divine bloodline, which is of extraterrestrial origin. People who conscious is aware that these beings that we identify with being of our origin, because we know that O negative, just want to speak on this, want to drift a little bit, that the O negative bloodline cannot be traced anywhere on this planet. So if you do your research and you find out the pharaohs in Egypt, what are their bloodline? You will find out many of them are O negative, the pharaohs. You see, to have a connection with the ethereals, and have a connection with the divine source, is to have a direct connection to what is, what's supposed to be, what's been handed down for mankind. The pharaohs represent something likened to a president. He's present and a representative of the gods. A pharaoh is to keep everything in alignment with how source, power, whatever divine source you want to use, is to keep everybody in alignment with what is, what meant to be, as far as how mankind should live and be. The continent was once separated. Correction. The continent was once brought together before the separation. This is why you see that architectural design from the Mayas all around the world. You see that pyramidal design in a lot of areas. So it's important that we go back to that connection. Right now we're being broke off like a puzzle. We need to come back together. And I'm bringing this up because as you study, and I told you to know thyself, don't you know that before you are born, there is a constellation alignment that aligns up, that can configure the energy of the planets, resonate with whom you are. With you, your genetics also have into play with who you'll be. But the day that you were born is you are born under a constellational alignment. Okay? The constellations, planetary constellations. Let's say I'm Virgo sun, and I'm Pisces moon. My sun being one, me being Virgo, has a connection to stars. And it says that Christ or Jesus, using the name to identify with something to help you understand, is considered to be the Son of God. A pharaoh is supposed to be a connection to God. They consider him to be likened the sun. Ra, likened to Ra, likened to Re. The pharaoh is supposed to be the connection to the gods. So the pharaoh is likened a sun. Your constellational planetary alignment is who you are, what you will be, what's your destiny in life. All this has a direct impact on you in life. So if you understand that each and every last one of us represent a star, when you stand, you see that your hands, 1, 2, head 3, one leg 4, and the other leg 5, represents a star. So you are liking a star, and a star is nothing but a sun. When you do your research, you will understand that a star is a sun. And it's important that I speak to you and understand that a star is a sun, and your constellation is made up of stars, like the Big Dipper. So If your energy of who you are representing you being Aries, Leo, Capricorn, Scorpio, whichever of the 12 that you are, the day that you were born, the time you were born, and a planetary alignment of these constellations, if you're 4 stars, those 4 is like poly. These stars come together to form whom and what you are. Not one star, but many stars, which is important because when you go into the union and working with your partner or your poly relationship, whichever one that you have to be connected to, started from the first origin. This is why you can see the whole alignment of having how many chromosomes? 23 chromosomes within the male, and there's 23 chromosomes within the woman. 2 plus 3 is 5, going back to that 5-star alignment. You don't need to walk on the boardwalk to connect with a star. You already created by the alpha creator, male or female, the divine source that created you from a star constellation that connects to your zodiac sign of whom and what you are. So from the beginning, we were already connected on a poly alignment. Being that you Leo, there's 3, 4, 5 stars that make who you are. Those stars work together. Not once do you see the zodiac stars breaking apart as if they're not working together, but they work together. The creator don't make no mistakes in creation. The moon cannot illuminate except by the sun. Except by the sun glowing behind it. When the sun glows behind the moon illuminates. The duality working together. Don't you know that the word moon, the last 2 letters of moon is on? That is a divine source of a masculine deity. On is a god, a male. The MO for moon, the vibration for moon, from right to left, OM is the Om sign of the Tibetan. So the divine source is also connected because a man is nothing more than a masculine female. Yeah, I say that because we have nipples that don't produce milk. I'm 100% man, let's not get it twisted, but let's talk facts. This is why you have fee and male. That's why you have he and she. That's why you have he and her. That's why you have the word mankind. Because mankind encompasses the whole of female and male. But I want men to be men and women to be women. And let's go back to the old ways. Not the new ways, but the new way could be a new wave that you want to move into a new frequency, you can. That's why it's important. You have to get to know people. Socially, mentally, economically, as well as psychologically. These have a factor on what type of person in a relationship, the outcome of that relationship. I think that we can work together. Because if you understand that in order to build, it's not one brick that makes a home. But how many bricks does it take to create a strong foundation? That's between you and your partner. But it's not one brick. It takes brick on brick to be able to build. And that has an impact upon us. Okay? The Big Dipper and the Little Dipper still, nevertheless, we are guided by the North Star. We know that these stars is something that we align ourselves to, right? Some people need to go to a fraternal order or a sorority. And these people are connected to ancient ways. Some new, some old, some follow that. But you understand that once they complete it, and they've done everything that they're supposed to do up under the precept, concept, whatever it is they got going on in there, they become brothers and sisters, right? Well, if you can do that just with a sorority and a fraternity, why can't we as a people do that individually, sisters coming together with their spouse? men, a woman having two husbands, if that's what they agree to, coming together. All right. Now we look into the sky. They say the cross. We understand that when you understand that when you pay attention to the alignments, we have this cross that people identify with being the solstice. And everything dealing with the constellation, that we align ourselves with the constellation, as above, so below. So if there's a sun up above, there's a sun down below. And everything that's intertwined. This is ancient Kemetic. This is how it's done in the East. You see? And that was done in the East flowed over here in the West. This is why we have what we have, the system that we have. Alchemy is dealing with alchemy. So when you're talking about Kim, we talking about the color black. Black people got to go back to things, because Kim is very important for black people to go back to the alchemy of things. And that's the real light in the dark. So we got to illuminate and glow here and go back to the origin of things. There's a lot of people within the movement thinking that you can just get one woman and say that, okay, I have a poly woman, and having another woman to tell that woman that she have to be up under the first woman. That's not how it go. You have to be just, you have to be equal, you have to be fair with your poly wives. You can't be treating, you can't have no form of favoritism. So if you take one out to eat, you take them all out to eat. Now, if y'all want to have time that you get to know your poly wives individually, you should. I think that's important. I just wanted to talk a little bit more on how the importance of me bringing this up. That one, we understand that from the belief system that duality and intimacy is also enshrouded within belief system. Christ being the Godhead and the women of the church being the wives of Christ. We understand that in the constellation that you were born, there is many stars that make who you are. So if you're already created, and if Mercury retrograde, the energy of the planet has an effect and infect your body, just like the moon cycle. Women, you are controlled by the moon. You come in your minutes due to the moon. So if these stars is in alignment that make you Leo, make you Capricorn, that make you Pisces, that make you whatever whom you are, it's because of the stars. So if we aligning ourselves with as above, so below, right? As above, so below. Take these stars that we are, that create us, to our zodiac signs, and apply it to us now, and align and connect with women and men of your vibration. And let these stars come together like the sun that come together to the moon to illuminate each other. And let's build a stronger foundation. These kids should not be running the street. These kids should not be engaging in activities because they have no father figure, because the men don't want to stand up, many of them. The women don't have enough men, so it's a lot of women who being indoctrinated by television and movies to think it's okay. As you can see, these strong roles that's being played right now on television, movies, there's more women who's taking on leadership roles in the movies, as if the men are falling by the wayside. Women are either commanders, women are either leaders, women are either the head chiefs. Nothing wrong with that. I'm just simply saying on how the men are becoming docile, obsolete, because it's being implemented so that men don't see men as men no more, but the women look into women as being more stronger. Okay? And I tip my hat off to the women who are strong, the women who are holding it down, who are taking on that role. But we understand that, again, a man is still a man, and he can't be a man except to have a woman to help him be a self-made. We complement each other. You see? A female is a fee and a male. And that fee, go back to the feline. And if you understand that, even that which we call the top superior animal in the animal kingdom is called a lion, right? And the lion has lioness. And the lion is its tribe is ran by the women. Listen, this is very powerful, because these women run the tribe. The matriarch within the hyenas is ran by a woman. The king might be one. You can't have two kings trying to run a tribe. It's not gonna work within the lion kingdom. And for me, my poly, because I'm an alpha man. I'm not a man who's docile, and I will require a woman who has that type of qualities, who's strong-minded as well, and has leadership qualities. But can't, as you can see in the animal kingdom, can't no two lions be a part of no tribe unless those lions have to be his cubs. That's just how I go. There's never been two kings that runs a kingdom. Now there might be certain type of derivative, watered down versions that who accompany the queen and assist the queen and help the queen, but not as a capital K-I-N-G. So let's go back to the root of things. You are what you will yourself to be. Do not lose focus of who you are, what you are. Open your mind and open your eyes. Do not be like that horse that's bridled, like riding a horse. We got to go back to the roots of things. Hotep, namaste, one.